Welcome to PPR Podcast number 139, is it now?
Is it that
or is it
many?
141? It's either 139 or 141. I'll check the books in just a bit. My name is Paul Rudy. I sit next to the star of the podcast. His name is Burt Grossman, former first-round draft choice in the NFL, 8th pick overall in 1989. Played 6 seasons in the NFL before a neck injury shortened his career. Still recorded almost 50 NFL sacks and was considered one of the best pass rushers of his era.
Matthew Barton from Mount Miguel High School. Sorry for that long drawn-out intro. He's a fanboy of mine. Don't worry. I'm sorry.
Introduce our guest.
Matthew Barton, Mount Miguel High School
quarterback who's been putting up big numbers now for a couple seasons. Matthew, Matt, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Are we getting you out of class right now?
The bell just rang, actually, so yeah, a little bit.
All right, see, it was worth your while then.
Hey, can I start off with a question just to get you in the mood? Matt, I do this every year. I pick a player, and I'm going to ask you a question. Pretend just any question. Say you're a quarterback and your team goes 10-1. You throw for 3,000 yards, 41 touchdowns, 275 yards a game. Do you think you'd be up for an Offensive Player Award?
I mean, those stats are, pretty good stats, but, there's great players around the county, and you can't pick everyone. So,
Matthew, I'll say this.
He's much more a politician than me.
First of all, you're much more polite than the person I work with, and trust me, man, the phone's been ringing off the hook, and your name was in the conversation over and over again. There is nobody on the Prep Picks report that, 1, doesn't respect your game, and 2, doesn't know your game. So all I'm going to say is this, as you sit and stew over us. Chris Olave wasn't on the podium.
Okay.
Every year, it is not an exact science, and every year there is a half a dozen kids such as yourself. I think you're the prime example in 2023.
Who was it last year? Dom Nankill, I'd say.
Dom Nankill was last year.
Yeah.
So, and talk to Dominic Nankill. He'll tell you all about what it's like to be snubbed by the PPR. But usually what it means in the long run, son, is big things are going to happen for you, and you're going to hold it over my head for the rest of your life.
Okay. Most likely, but you never know.
And plus, the sweetest reward is still ahead for you, because you guys, you play a few more games, you're going to be setting some records that might stand the test of time forever and ever.
Yes, sir. We got Santana this week.
All right, so let's talk about Santana this week. I think you're a double-digit favorite, are you not?
I believe so. Yes. They called us out, I think, week 2 when they played LCAP. So, a long time coming.
They did. I remember that. It was on. I think it was on our show. They called it out on one of the interviews that they wanted you guys or something, didn't they?
One of the interviews.
You don't remember that early in the season? They were doing the after thing interview, and they said we want Mount Miguel.
And
I do remember that.
If I recall, it didn't go well for them.
I think they beat LCAP by a touchdown when they called us out.
Okay.
And is that game at Mount Miguel or at Santana?
It's got to be
at Mount Miguel.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Talk about, man, I talked about this with Jeremiah, and I'm still getting grief for it, because I had the audacity to say a few years ago, and I did not mean it as a slight. I just said Mount Miguel isn't the sexy school. I guess I should have said isn't as high profile. That's probably what I was trying to say. But boy, people have been banging me over the head with that comment. Tell me about, because now I look at your uniforms, you look like a pretty sexy school to me now. What's it like to go to Mount Miguel?
It's amazing. The coaching staff, the new uniforms and everything. It's just it's a big upgrade from the couple years before.
So we had Jeremiah on here, and that was I think that was the question we asked. It used to be that kind of everybody wanted to leave Mount Miguel, and now kind of everybody wants to go to Mount Miguel. But you and Jeremiah just never left. You stayed regardless. What was your thought behind that?
It was probably just our chemistry we had. Our chemistry that we had together. It was just like previous years from youth and everything. So we just wanted to keep that, the connection there. And
weren't you guys? I saw a picture. You guys are playing together since you're 5 years old in flag, something like that.
Oh yeah, flag.
God, they've been playing since 5 years old.
Los Toros.
That's amazing. Well, when you know someone you know him like the back of your hand, I bet, right?
Yeah.
And does that
great information?
Does that transcend on the football field then? When you know someone that well?
100%.
Explain how.
So when Jeremiah was running routes, I just I guess I put the ball where it needs to be, and he's just there, and just the chemistry from off the field, on the field, even on the baseball field, it just translates.
13 years of that. Follow up on that.
Baseball?
Yeah. What position do you play in baseball?
I play pretty much anything besides catcher. So pitcher, shortstop, third base, second base, outfield.
And what ideally college would you want to play, baseball or football? What's your first love?
I'll go football, first love. And if nothing happens with football, then I'll go a backup route, which is baseball.
You brought up Los Toros before. I think we had is there up until this year, obviously. I mean, the thing is, if you could just keep Los Toros guys, Mount Miguel would be on the top of the board every year. But they always seem to leave up until now. Why do you think people were leaving Los Toros and not going to Mount Miguel?
I think it's just like the stereotype of Mount Miguel not being like the pretty school, like you said, Paul. But I think they believe that they can do more things out at different bigger schools.
Well, is the phone ringing for you as far as college is concerned?
I have an offer from Laverne, which is at D3 school, but I'm still trying to work my way up to D2, possibly Division I.
Laverne's nice. That's up in LA, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, that would be perfect distance as far as get away from home a little bit.
But not be away from home.
But still be within overnight money.
Yeah. They have a really good educational program there.
Right, yeah. I've heard of it.
He's got a good family, though. I'm like you and I don't think he wants to get away from home. I've seen all his social media posts. He's got a nice family. You and I want to get away from home.
You bring up your family. You have a special story in your world, do you not?
I believe so. My youngest brother, or my middle brother actually, he was born with CMV, which is a virus that he got. So he's pretty much disabled, and he actually goes to Mount Miguel. He's a freshman this year.
And so talk about that. I mean, suddenly I'm going to bet you see life through a different lens than most kids your age who are focused on themselves. You can't be that way. You have to focus on someone else, don't you?
A little bit, yeah. I help my parents with like doing some of his stuff, like feeding him or getting his water for the night and stuff like that.
And you guys share a room or anything, or is it?
No, I don't share my room. He has his own room. I have my own room, and then my youngest brother has his own room as well.
Nice. You got a big family. So you have three boys?
Three younger brothers.
And no girls in the family?
No girls, besides my mom.
I figured that.
Boy, she must be a lonely woman dealing with all that dirty laundry.
Oh, goodness.
But if I could just go back to your brother, what's his name?
Christopher.
So in taking care of Christopher and seeing some of life's challenges, what have you learned?
I learned to not take things for granted. Everything that happens is for a reason. So just don't make the most out of things.
And right now, where are you at? You're in school, but are you in between? Like, what class do you get out of right now?
So the bell just rang. I would be in my third period, which is my TA class, actually.
So you're a teacher assistant?
Yeah.
We did, like Julian did that.
Julian did that. So what as a TA, what do you do?
So I'm a TA for the office. So they give me like passes they hand out to students. So I give them to the teacher, and then they give them to the student. They either go to the office, they're leaving, stuff like that.
How do you score that gig? Do they pick you? I mean, because you're responsible, or?
He's skipping it. He's not that responsible. Who's covering for you? Is it Jeremiah out there giving out handles?
No, but Matthew, is that something that is an honor that is bestowed upon you to be a TA, that they recognize you as kind of a responsible kid?
So I actually just asked my counselor if I can be a TA to give me like a free period, because I'm taking a community college class, my fourth period. So it's like I have 2 periods of work on it.
So I'm going to go back to that because you just said you're taking a community college class, you're a TA now. Is there like the accountability with the new staff? Because I've heard like they're all over you guys and different things. And
oh yeah, so for grades, if we're late to class, we have to see Coach V after practice. I think it's a 3.0. If we have under a 3.0, we have to see Coach V after practice. So they're really, really strict on the grades.
Was that like when he first got there? Was it immediate buy-in, or were you guys a little resistant? Was it maybe a buy-in, or was it from the get-go was a buy-in? Because, I mean, everybody knows who he is, so I guess you kind of buy in.
How could you not buy into Verlain? I mean, the rings on his hand alone would
You're just trying to get on his good side because you missed his quarterback on Offensive Player of the Year. And I understand that.
Trust me.
And I understand.
Believe me, Matthew, Coach V let me know how he felt on the subject, and we had a very frank one-way conversation. But you respect what he's done. I mean, yeah, I don't agree with him on most things, but I respect what he's done.
Nice. You guys don't agree on most things?
No, we see life through a different lens, I think, in a lot of ways. But
so it was immediate buy-in, pretty much. Sorry, he hijacked all my questions.
Immediate buy-in.
Well, that's good. No resistance at all.
I mean, he shows up. He's got 2 state titles to his credit. He runs a pretty prolific offense that everyone respects. How could you not? Was it Coach Starr that was before him?
It was Coach Starr, yes.
And Coach Starr's a pretty respected guy, is he not?
No, he is. 100% he is.
I mean, he knows his football.
I would say Coach V is more of like a new school coach. He understands like how the players, like with the uniforms, the drip, I guess you can say.
That's a good point. I mean, because we talked about that earlier with Coach Hoke. It's kind of, you see a different, great coaches, but I mean the landscape of coaching has just changed so much. It's not what it used to be anymore.
I think like guys like my age are just they don't get it.
You've been out for a while.
Yeah, but
when you were young, you didn't get it.
But you have to appeal
social media.
Social media. Coach Verlain is active on the Team Akasi, the 7-on-7, all those things. You've got to really be players in. Do you not?
No, you do. Yeah, everything that he's doing helps everyone around the county.
Yeah, because I remember watching you last year, and I think you had like 2,400 yards, which is a ton in high school. And then thinking, I knew V was going there, but it was like, I don't know how he does much better than that. And then this year you have like 3,000 or 3,100.
2,999 right now.
Not that you're keeping track. Right.
Not that you're keeping track.
Something like, I was 1 yard off, sorry.
Yeah, 1 yard off.
But I mean, you had to be a little, I would be concerned. I mean, just because, like you said, you come off a junior year at 2,400, that's 240 a game. New coach, well, everybody knows V throws the ball, but I mean, were you a little concerned at that at all? Just like, because that seemed like such a big number, and then you just blew that number away.
Oh yeah, I guess we have more attributes, more weapons to get the ball to, instead of having it just be Jeremiah. And now he's getting not double teamed or triple teamed now, so it's a lot easier.
So take us to the line of scrimmage. Take us from the huddle to the line of scrimmage. Or do you guys even huddle? Do you call plays right at the how do you guys do it? Are you calling plays at the line of scrimmage?
Yes, sir. Line of scrimmage.
So you don't huddle anymore?
No, not really. We just call the formation, and then he calls a play, look at our wristband, and then it tells us to play.
And from that play, do you have a good idea where you're – like in the NFL, they go up, they have 2 plays called, and they check off between one and the other, a run play and a pass play. Does that happen in high school football, or when you go up there, you're running that play?
So as of right now, I get a play. We run the same play.
All right, I got a question, man.
Hang on, let me finish.
I was gonna say most of our runs is like an RPO. So run the ball, throw the ball. I can even run the ball myself.
Are you allowed, if Verlain sends something in, play
to change it?
Are you allowed to change it, or you get yelled at, depending on whether it works?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. He's not Patrick Mahomes yet, okay?
I'm just saying. I know Verlain is. Verlain wouldn't let Patrick Mahomes change it.
So then, just going back to because I like the X and O's of it all, Matt. So you go up and the play, the coach calls a formation, and then, do you call a formation, or does the coach call a formation?
Coach calls the formation.
All right, so the formation's called, everybody kind of goes to their spots on the field, and then a play is called, and everybody looks at it, and the rest band has to play 62, they know what play. How do you, what if you call the same play over and over again? Doesn't the other team know what's coming their way then?
No, not really. There's different plays that mean the same thing.
Okay, so all right, boom. So a play is called. Do you right then know where you're going with the ball, or are there things that can happen at the line of scrimmage, or the defense can do that can change who your intended target's going to be? Yeah.
So when I get to the line of scrimmage, I call the front. So say it's a nickel front, which is 4-2. and then I go from the front to the corners to the safety to the backers, and then I just make my decision off of that.
All right, I have to do this because I did this last week, and
Okay.
I want some money. All right, Matthew, we're on FanDuel right now, and you and I are going to bet on the Open Division Championship between Granite and Granite and Lincoln. What's the line, the spread, and who am I taking?
So I'm not really I don't know how to bet or anything, but I got Granite. I got Granite winning.
Oh, do you?
I know upset.
Wow.
Why?
All right. Why are they going to win that game? Because I'm going to repeat all this on PPR.
Why are they going to win it?
I got Granite's defense and Granite's O-line, D-line, their specials, their safeties and everything. I feel like they could lock down Lincoln.
So now, how many of these guys do you know from either side?
I know a couple from Granite. I know a lot from Lincoln.
Like, who are you tight with on Lincoln?
KJ, actually, me and KJ used to be childhood friends. We played football together. And then his dad, Akili Smith Jr., he was like my first quarterback coach.
Oh, all right. So you going to go to the game?
No, probably not. I mean, I might, but you never know.
It depends how Friday goes, right?
Yes, sir. Santana.
Santana's going to regret.
Come on. Well, I'm not sure. Hold on. So here's a question for you. I saw the forecast today. You guys are a big run and shoot, throw it, basically. We get a big rainstorm. Does that affect you guys at all? Because we have rain in the forecast. Does that affect your throwing game at all?
I don't think so. I had a camp in LA one time. It was pouring rain, and I threw the ball pretty good.
All right.
Hey, what's your favorite football memory? Like when
Favorite football memory?
Like, I know you're young in your career, but what's the thing you think back on and say, hey, that's the one moment I think about a lot?
Shoot.
Do you have one?
I gotta say senior night. Senior night was like a big one.
Just this past one? Of course it was. So why was senior night special?
The realization that I'm a senior, it's like time flies. Time flies.
Is it? I mean, because I remember I played 2 sports in high school, so I don't think, I didn't get as much emotionally senior night football because then I went right into another sport. Does that happen with you with baseball that you don't really realize until you actually graduate because you have a whole nother season coming?
No, during football, it hit me a lot. It was like, dang, I'm a senior now.
Paul was a JV as a senior, so
Leave me alone.
he was the only Wisconsin football player ever to be a senior, 19 years old on JV, and it hit him pretty hard too. I mean, I remember you talking about that.
Matthew, I set a school record for most consecutive starts without having to have my jersey laundered.
That's bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, really, because I knew where the sideline was and I got there as quickly as possible. I had 11 catches and didn't have to have my jersey laundered. I just got out of bounds, dude. Matthew, what's the best piece of advice you've gotten along the way?
Listen to the message, not the tone, from Coach V.
Oh, explain that. What does that mean?
So during film or even practice, if someone's yelling at you, like to do the right thing, like listen to the message and not how he says it.
Oh, that's actually good advice.
Yeah, that is good advice.
So did that come from V? Did he say that?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Oh, that's great. God.
That means when he's pissed off and he's yelling at you, don't listen to that.
So
listen
don't
to the words.
get wigged out because I get angry at people all the time, but I don't really mean to. Oh, Coach V, I learned that. I'm gonna steal that from Verlain. God bless him.
You should.
All right. Well, listen. We don't want to keep you too long. There's kids watching this that want to be the next you. What do you say to them?
Off season, keep up the hard work. If you put in the work, great results will happen.
And Los Toros kids stay home.
Yes, sir. They should.
And so how many touchdown passes are you shy of? You have to get, you're flirting with 60, are you not? What are you at right now?
I think I'm at 46.
46, and you've got, how many, if you win out, how many games could you still play? You have 1, 2, 3?
We have, semifinals, the championship, 4 more games.
4 more games.
Yeah.
You could hit 60 touchdown passes conceivably.
I believe so.
Is that something you think about, or is that you just, hey, I'll win the football game, whatever happens, happens?
Whatever happens, happens. Another thing from Coach V, team success equals individual accolades.
Boy, he's like a walking quote machine. Maybe that's what he has in his backpack. Is a
quotes,
a book of quotes.
Yeah, what is in Verlain's backpack?
Yeah, have you ever looked?
I have never looked.
What do you think
at this, probably his beats before pregame that he wears, the play sheet, and then I gotta say, probably like that's it. Maybe like a water bottle, but I'm not sure.
Right.
I bet you it's empty.
I think it's empty.
Have you ever seen anything come out of it? Literally?
No, just a play sheet.
It's empty.
I bet you it's empty.
So I'm gonna steal it.
Like it's teeth.
Next game we do it, I'm gonna steal the backpack.
All right. Well, listen, young man, we're gonna let you go. There was something I wanted to ask. Oh, speak to your parents. Speak to your family and give them a shout out, because we're always talking about you. It's about time you talk about them. Talk about the people that are important in your life.
So my mom, my dad, they're great people. They do a lot for me. Great, like a lot of sacrifices for me to play football, like in the youth. And then Coach Brady, he's my quarterback coach. He helped me a lot in the offseason this season. Good Iron Ministries, Good Iron Ministries helped me a lot in 8th grade, 7th grade. Me, Jeremiah, Hector, Tyler Lopez, Davion McGowan, we all were there 7th, 8th grade with Gridiron.
All right. Well, young man, I'm glad we got you out of class. I hope you take what I said. Everybody on this show respects you and respects your work. And, dude, it's just one of those things that, it's like trying to get a bill through Congress. You have to get consensus, you have to make concessions, and I think you're one of the concessions that got made. And by all accounts, a lot of people think we got that wrong, and for that, we're forever bonded. And I hope that you'll forgive me at some point and realize that this is nothing on this show is permanent, and no one's going to be a bigger cheerleader for you and what you have to do in the rest of your life than myself and everybody who works on the show, because you are a very unique human being, and we are glad that we got to cover you for as long as we did, and we continue to cover you as you march towards a D4 title.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, PPR Podcast 139 or 141, I can't remember which this is now over. Matthew, have a good rest of the day.